Now, would you say that the number one global cause that unifies all Muslims in the world would be recognition of Palestinian state? I would probably agree with that. And Netanyahu is saying that the reason that this Australia attack happened is because the government of Australia supports the exact same thing. That's right. That's what he's saying. Well, clearly Netanyahu is the one who is being honest here. How is everybody throwing stones at him when he's the only one who's telling the truth? Netanyahu is saying that the terrorist attacked Australia because Australia agreed with their most important global initiative. Yes, of course. And that makes sense to you. Netanyahu said it. You think he would lie? Well, what about the viral reports that it might have even been crisis actors and not even a real event? Now, before we get into all the inconsistencies and everything, I've filmed the rest of this video, but I just decided after watching this guy's got to be first. Like, he has to be first, okay? I want to talk about the hero that saved lives, got shot 5 times, and is in, he's actually in pretty rough condition. He might lose the arm, but I just feel compelled to put this at the beginning. Now, also, when I talk later on in the video, you hear me talking about this, but and I said that his name was Jose Alconj. That's his cousin. The guy who did it, his name is Ahmed El Ahmed, a 43-year-old father of 2 from Syria, and he's the one who was seen in the heart-stopping video as he crept up and tackled one of the father-son terrorists who killed 15 people Sunday night at a Hanukkah celebration at the popular beach just outside Sydney, Australia. Just before rushing in, the hero predicted he would pay the ultimate price for his bravery. He said, "I'm going to die. Please see my family and tell them that I went down to save people's lives." And that's him right there. Ahmed El Ahmed is the one who did that, okay? And like what you're going to see in this video is I'm going to make a lot of jokes, dude. Not about like dead people, but just about how stupid this narrative is and how the, like, oh yeah, oh that's why this happened. You're gonna see it. I make a lot of jokes, but I'm moved by this, and I wanted to put this at the beginning because he deserves it. Okay, and there's also something that I want to make a point about related to our own country. So it says El Ahmed was hit at least 5 times and could lose an arm, according to Sam Issa, the immigration lawyer who helped him get citizenship in 2022, 6 years after he moved down under. Okay, I don't care where you sit on the political aisle. You have to read that, and you need to accept that some people who are not from here and want to become citizens are exactly who should be here. And you want to know what the difference is? Okay, you want to know who, at least in the experience that I have seen, are the people who want to be here bad enough that they will go through the process to be here legally. Okay, you hear that? He became a citizen after being there for 6 years, which means he had gone through the process the whole time. And he became a citizen, and that's what he wanted. And the people who are willing to go through that, those are the ones who should be here. Again, I'm not for just throwing everybody out. I'm not for like just letting everyone stay, But the ones who are coming here for the right reasons, look at that, dude. You don't want that. Hey, that guy wanted to come here. You don't want that guy. You don't want that guy in the country if he wanted to be. If he loved America, came here, did everything right, and then he wanted to be here. And we don't want that guy. Dude, well, I got about 1 million leftists I'll trade for that guy right now. Okay? He's riddled with bullets, and he is apparently going to survive, though, and that is awesome. Anyway, congratulations to both him and Australia for landing that guy as a citizen, because what an absolute badass. Willing to die to protect his fellow countrymen, regardless of what nationality, religion, ethnicity, any of that. He didn't care, dude. He was going to die trying to save them. Fucking badass, man. And now we're going to get into the actual video. But before that, prove you are as big of a badass as him by hitting subscribe and liking this video. I'm just kidding. You won't be as big of a badass as him, but you'll be about halfway there. From nothing to halfway to him. Get on it. So yes, you heard that right. The last segment of this video is going to be dedicated to a new report with photographs and all this stuff that the Bondi attack is not real. It's actually crisis actors supposedly, and I'm going to show you those pictures and who is saying it. And I mean, it's already got, like, just the post I'm talking about has been forwarded 40,000 times so far. Okay, this thing happened yesterday, so a lot of people are looking at that, like a lot of people. So that'll be segment number whatever. It'll be the last segment of this video. Buckle up and let's get into everything. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we are going to start my first episode back in the studio off like this, dude. Okay, We are going to take a look at this Bondi attack, and I'm glad I waited till now because there is a lot of new information coming out that are indicating, it's indicating a lot of weird stuff, man. This was at least initially appeared to be a pretty straightforward attack. Couple terror guys, they come up with guns, they start shooting at the beach, and then you find out that this is some kind of holiday for Jewish people, and they're being targeted specifically, and these guys are Muslim or whatever, and that's what this is, so on, so forth, etc. And then someone pointed out some recent applicable scenes from Benjamin Netanyahu and what's happened between the government of Australia, Gaza, warnings that were given to them, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, really? This is again. Do you know how much I try to avoid throwing stones over there? Where I'm like, nah. Come on, guys. They can't be doing all of these things. And it's like, well, I don't know, dude. This is looking pretty shady. Not going to lie. Looking pretty shady. Now, speaking of, shady stuff and people predicting this kind of thing. What do you know about that, dude? Hey, remember Candace Owens? I feel like in the last news cycle that stopped like 2.5 seconds ago, she was being called all kinds of names. She's crazy. She's a lunatic. And it's like, oh, wait. So on November 27th, she said, they've been signaling that a 9/11 style attack is coming the second week of December. Save this tweet. It'll age well. It did. It did age very well, But I think the best way to do this is to kind of go through the details of what we know publicly that's kind of public knowledge. And then I'm going to show you the stuff that relates to Israel, their interaction with the Australian government, which has been supportive of a two-state solution, and what Netanyahu said, specific warnings given to them. And you're like, wait, are you like, I don't even, how does this keep happening? You know what I mean? How? It's just unbelievable. Or not unbelievable at all, very believable, in fact. So Bondi Beach shooting latest. Australian Prime Minister reveals more details about the killers as a man who disarmed the attacker is pictured. Now, one thing that I bet was a big fly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to wrap this up, by the way. The last thing that we're going to look at is going to be a report that this was a staged thing with crisis actors. Okay? Crisis actors. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go put that at the beginning so you guys, I don't want to talk, because I might put that in the title. I'm going to go put that in, and then we're going to finish. Hang on. All right, I'm back. Now, so the bystander that interjected themselves into this and tackled one of the shooters, I'm sure everybody's seen that, is also a Muslim man. Very inconvenient for the narrative that I believe some people were really hoping for, They're like, listen, right? That's where we want people shot. Who are you pretending to be? What? Who are you pretending to be? I don't know. I'm just saying. Some people might have wanted this to happen. It's like, right, I know, cool. And for what reason? It's like, maybe they wanted to target a very specific group. Really? Who would that be? Well, in this example, it might be, Islamic terrorists. They're like, yes. And so what is their general approach to how they do everything? It's like split people into groups, generalize, and then take action based on those idiotic generalizations. It's like, nice. Okay. So in this case, all you need is a couple Muslim guys to do something terrible, and you could characterize the entire Muslim population as being representative of what these two people did. They're all, that's right. That's exactly how the game is played. That's right. It's like, all right, cool. The thing goes off. And then the biggest, most heroic thing I've seen someone do on camera ever happens. Disarms the guy, takes a bullet, expecting to die. By the way, we're going to be looking at that in a second. And they're like, what's his name? Hey, who did that? It's like, oh, I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. His name is, wait for it. Where did that go? Jose Alcanj, very, very Muslim. So that's unfortunate, if you were trying to use this as a reason to go murder, kill a bunch of people. It's like, well, why? It was still Muslims. You're like, right. And the person who's the hero, also a Muslim. So pretty hard to paint the entire Muslim population that way if you have the guy on video being a hero, also a Muslim, right? I mean, right? It's hard for dumb humans to feel like, if you feel wow about this guy, you can't really paint him all as evil. You can't really run the play that you guys usually do, right? So anyway, there's 15 killed, 40 injured in a terror attack on a Jewish event at Bondi Beach. So 9 victims, including 2 rabbis, a 10-year-old girl. Gunman identified as father, 50. He died at the scene. The prime minister gives, okay, so let's honestly take a look at this, okay? So here is why people are looking a little bit sideways at this entire thing, right? Australia urges Israel not to take military control of Gaza. Well, who are you to tell them what to do? Right, guys? Who are you to tell them what to do? And what month was this in? Let's see. This, I believe, is in August of 2025. So in August of 2025, right? September, October, November, December, 4 months ago, Australia, from an official capacity, recommended that Israel abandon its plans to take military control of Gaza. And they warned that it could deepen the humanitarian crisis in the war-torn enclave. Australia calls on Israel to not go down this path, which will only worsen the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. Wow. Well, I mean, listen, I don't know what kind of crazy person would share an opinion like that. Who cares about humanitarian problems when who you're killing are people who are on land that we want? We got big plans. Did you not hear what Jared Kushner said? Did you not hear Peter Thiel? Okay. This is going to be a tax-free, and to use your own word, enclave for billionaires to build the next generation of artificial intelligence. Exact words. Okay, and what's the problem? Well, a bunch of these little rat people that we can't seem to get to relocate, we've offered them all kinds of things. Or what'd you offer them? It's like, we said, leave or we'll kill you. And they won't leave. Right, I mean, did you think that there was like another type of positive incentive you could give them? Huh? I mean, what's better than not dying of starvation or murder? Come on, guys, Okay, I'm not really saying, listen, I'm not taking sides on this, guys. Okay, I'm not. I'm just making jokes. You know what I mean? Anyway, so the Australian said a two-state solution is the only pathway to secure and enduring peace, a Palestinian state and an Israeli state living side by side in peace and security within international recognized borders. Wow. Now, in the event that someone took this stance as being anti-Semitic, that sounds pretty, what's the right word? Dishonest and misleading, Like, if you took them saying, like, I think the best thing would just for you guys to live next to each other and be peaceful, the Palestinians and the Israelis. No one seems to have mentioned anything about religion either. It's like, these people live here, you live there, let's just live in peace. And they're like, sounds anti-Semitic to me. You're all, anti-Semitic is about Jewish people, right? Yes, it is. And you said two-state solution, which is obviously code for kill all the Jews. What? No, it's not. We said peace. We know what that means. When a person who is Asian, last name Wong, and the Prime Minister of Australia, well known for their historical, representation of horrific violence against who. No, I don't actually. Like, who are you talking about? I don't actually have no idea what you're talking about. They seem like as a matter of fact, I know for a fact that Australia intentionally doesn't have nukes because they don't want to be involved in a nuclear exchange. That sounds like common sense, actually, really, Well, it's not. Not having nukes is anti-Semitic, and everybody knows it, Anyway, so Wong's statement, followed by comments from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, told Fox News that Israel intended to take full military control of Gaza, said the goal was eventually to transfer governance to Arab forces, though he did not specify which countries would be involved or what the arrangement would look like. Okay. So that was August, right? And here we go. So Australian Prime Minister, this is today, right? Australian Prime Minister rejects Netanyahu's linking of Palestine recognition to Bondi Beach attack. Wow, really? Really? So Australia's attack at Bondi Beach is due to them claiming that they like a two-state solution. Does that make sense to anyone? Like, is this a thing that makes sense? I'm just asking. Like, again, I take for granted that most people are not retarded anymore. You know, like, I used to just assume everybody's stupid, but the thing is like, these people think that, and when I say these people, I mean the mainstream media, okay? Like, anyone who's running game like this, it's not an ethnic thing. I'm saying, like, the people who plant stories like this or try to plant narratives, it's like they really think we're dumb. Like, they think we're so dumb, it's unbelievable. Like, as an example, for someone to say that a terror attack is probably due to Australia's stance on a two-state solution and having peaceful neighbors, you know, between Palestine and Israel, and that would lead to a Muslim terror attack on them, is pretty hard to swallow for a person with common sense, because that would essentially be like me saying, well, oh wait, so you're saying that my next door neighbor is going to commit a terror attack on my house because I let him borrow my only car for 2 weeks when I said I would have to walk everywhere I go, but I really wanted to help them to be able to get around because of this need that they had? Yes. You loaned your car to your next door neighbor, and you took that upon great pain to yourself, walking everywhere that you went. Now they're going to burn your house down. What? They're going to burn your house down. You lent them your car. Why would that lead to them burning my house down? I'm doing them a favor. Oh, geez. Hey, look at the big brain on Jesse. You think because you do a guy a favor, that means they won't shoot people at your beach? You're out of your mind. Okay? There's no reason to look deeply into this, and whether it was definitely not those people and it was someone else who might want to use it as an excuse to blow things up. You know? Very important note right there. So, yeah, on Sunday, though, also, he accused them of not doing anything to stop the spread of anti-Semitism. So, you know, listen, dude, then, like, right now, this is the new PM of Australia. When it was in August or whatever, it was the Asian person. It just doesn't matter, man. You either support them or things happen, you know? But Australia's Prime Minister has rejected accusations from his Israeli counterpart, Netanyahu, that Australia's recognition of a Palestinian state earlier this year contributed to Sunday's deadly anti-Semitic terrorist attack at Bondi Beach. In an interview with national broadcasters, he was asked if he accepted any link between that recognition and the massacre in Bondi. He said, "No, I don't. Overwhelmingly, most of the world recognizes the two-state solution as being the way forward for the Middle East." Again, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing? All right, so we are going to take a look at the reported proof that this was a, like these are some crisis actors or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this so you guys can see the beginning. I am going to have to mute this, but you can see right here, okay, this is an Instagram post, and it is apparently showing what seems to be this guy. Apparently, this is a picture from the Bondi attack, and then up here is apparently a, what looks to be like a whole movie crew, makeup crew, setting him up for this picture, okay? So I'm not going to go too in depth on this because there's not a whole lot more to say except for this right here, that he ran it through an AI check, which said that it is a behind-the-scenes photo from a film production showing special effects makeup being applied, and it's not AI, CGI, and it's not a real emergency or terror attack, but it's also not evidence of a real-world incident that's been staged. So, listen, dude, I have no idea. I'm just putting it in here because I would imagine that a lot of people have probably seen this post, and I have no way to verify it. I have no way to dispute it. It's just one of those things that is now officially on the radar, you know? Now, that being said, I have an episode dropping in the next probably 48 hours about the Charlie Kirk situation, where I interviewed a guy who said that he could scientifically prove that Charlie Kirk was not shot by the firearm. He's got a bunch of stuff that he is going to lay out and what he believes actually happened and how they did it and all that stuff. And there's actually a reel that I just saw, which would indicate that conclusion. Also, I am far from signing off on that, on me being like, I am a believer that Charlie faked his death. But there is a lot more information than just what I got in this interview now, too. So look for that, because it is becoming more and more compelling. And the reason I keep on looking at it, I will continue to come back to this, is because it's the one thing that would explain the problems with all of the behavior around him. The TPU, like all the insiders at TPUSA, problems on how they're behaving. But Erica Kirk, problems, just weird stuff that's happening constantly around this entire thing from that camp. The one thing that I can make sense of, or the security guys not having enough blood on him, like all of that stuff could be explained if Charlie is not actually dead and they all knew it. The guy who jumped up on the wall and is filming, he's like, oh my God, they shot Charlie. They shot Charlie. It's like, you weren't afraid, you weren't afraid that you were going to get killed. Like you wanted to just stand up on the wall and film Charlie. I mean, you listen, dude, I'm not saying I signed off on that theory at all. I'm just saying that's the only reason I'm even entertaining it, is because of what it would provide as it relates to, what's the right word? Solutions to that itch at the back of my neck. That's like, just doesn't feel right, But anyway, that is what we got for this video, and, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Bye-bye.